Hello, everybody. Welcome to Once Upon a Story Time with author Michelle. Um, so, I wanted to come on here and explain the importance for children to know parts of a book. Um, in reading a story to kids, the one thing that we always start with before teaching kids how, well, they're hearing language all the time. So a lot of times before they start reading, one of the beginning things that we teach them before reading is we teach them the parts of a book. This is very important for them to know. So in asking in those reading groups, when you say open the front cover, let's take a look at the back cover. How do we open a book? How do we turn the pages? Where do we start reading? So all those things are prerequisites to reading. They need to know those things. And so at home, or if there's any other teachers that are viewing this, in the classroom, as well as at home, before you begin your story, or one night, you might just want to go over just the parts of a story. And even for story time for teachers, you might want to spend time just talking about parts of a book. And after, talking about parts of the book, then you can read the story, or you can do something that's called a picture walk, and I will be talking about that as well. But so starting out, you want to have your child to just look at the book and tell you what is actually on the front cover of the book. So they can tell you what they see, describe the picture, point out any letters, any numbers that they may see. You can even say to them, hey, can you show me a letter? Can you show me a number? Then you can be specific with the letters. Can you show me letter O? Have them explain to you what is happening on the front cover. Talk about the characters, like how does she look, feelings, does she look happy, does he look sad, where do you think they may be? So it's good to talk about the setting of the story. Where do you think this is at? Where are they? So as you begin to pick out some of those specific things, then you can say, this is the front cover of the book. Okay. On the front cover, you will find, and then you can tell them the title. This is the title of the book. The title will tell us what this story is about. And then you can read the title to them. So you want to explain when we read, we start reading on the left side. We go left to right. So I can read Shelly goes to school. So make sure you take your pointer finger, I like to call it our pointer, our reading finger, and just kind of go across those letters. Shelly goes to school. Just so they get the idea that when you start reading, you read left to right. Okay? And there's so much to find on the front cover. We can find the title. We can find the character that will be in the story. What do you think this person is? What do you think she will do? It says on here, on her shirt. What does that say? Then you have the author. The author is very important. You want to explain to them that the author writes the story. So, and then teaching them about the author, you always want to let them know as well, who is the illustrator. So explain to them, the author writes the story. The author is going to tell us in these pages what this story is about. The illustrator does the art, the picture, draws the pictures, paints the picture. So that's very important that they know what an author is, what an illustrator is, where's the title, how are the characters feeling, where do you think this story is at. That right there is a whole lesson by itself. One lesson, just talking about the front cover of the book. Then after you teach them front cover, you teach them the back cover. This is the back cover of the book. If you want your kids to be ahead of the game, go ahead and tell them. The back of the book, it tells us, gives us a little blurb. It's called a book blurb. Or it gives us a little information about what the story is about. So maybe, you know, at home or teachers, you might want to give a little bit, because it usually most often pose a question to them, and it's good that the kids get like a question a day, and that right there can be very good. And that could be very good in giving them a question for the day. And then usually it'll have like the author on the back, and tell a little bit of who the author is, why they wrote the book. For whatever information that the author may want to give about themselves, it will also be on the back of the book. So I know, as an author myself, those things are important. You know, you put your heart and soul into a book, and you do want that information to be shared, whether it's shared with the parent, that the parent knows. If you want to share with the kids a little bit, like on my book here, I have a picture when I was a little girl and when I became a teacher. So these things are very important. So after you talk about the front cover, the back cover, then you want to teach them that this is the spine of the book. What does the spine do? What does your spine do? It holds you together. So you want to teach them that the spine of the book holds this book together. So as you open it, you will see in the middle there, it gathers all the pictures and bind them together. Okay? So that's important as well. And then you teach them, we open the front cover from left to right. Okay? I always like to read the dedication. If it's a little short dedication, you can read the dedication for the level of understanding that your kids may understand. So if you want to read just a little bit, and sometimes some authors will just put the name, a couple of names, and to their daughter, to their mother, or something like that. So then you want to say, these are our pages. This is the pages of a book. Okay? And we turn the pages from left to right. Okay? So then, before you actually read a story, there's something that we do before we read a story to kids. If you want to just open up the book and start reading, but we also like to do something that's called the picture walk. So I'll do something separate on that, but you want to let them know that these are the pages. We turn the pages left to right. Teach them how to be gentle, how to take care of books. Books are very important for us, so we use gentle hands with them. And then once you start, they really start learning how to read, you want to say to them, show me a letter. So before they actually, can show you a word, some of them might just be showing letters. Now, point to a letter. What letter is that? What sound does that letter make? Point to a word. Show me a word. So just see if they know what a letter. They point to just one letter. And then if they can point to a word. Okay. You also want to teach that there are spaces in between words. Okay. Then you can also count. There you got some math integrated into literacy. So you can count how many words they see, count how many letters they see. Then you can teach them that all these words, when we put them together, although they have little spaces, that they make a sentence. And sentences are very important in a story. Put your words together, you get a complete a full sentence. Show them the little marks at the end of the sentence. This ends with an exclamation point. Teach them that. Teach them what a period is. So there are so many lessons and skills and objectives that you can teach just from reading, just from starting by learning the parts of a book. I will do another video and talk about how you can do that picture walk and other things you can do about feelings, making comparisons in the story, reading different versions of one story. So yeah, more to come. But those are just some of the basics, some of the specific things that are very important. I know I always have a lot of parents that say to me, one of the goals they have for their kids for the school year is to start reading. And I say, you know, that's a very, very, very important skill. That's a very important goal. It's a big goal, you know, coming in at 3 years old or 4. We do want our kids to read early. Nothing wrong with that. But I always tell them, make sure you're reading to your child every night, every day, and start with just teaching them the parts of a book first. And, you know, for some parents, it may hold a little question mark for them. They might want to know why, but I tell them when they start to really read on their own, those skills are very important, because when they start doing literacy activities, they'll have questions, you know, within a reading activity or a reading lesson would say, show me an exclamation point. Make this is this a full sentence? Where do we begin reading? So definitely these are prerequisite skills that they will need to know also when it comes to beginning skills in reading. So parts of a book are very, 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 very important. Even if you said to your child, pick up the book, open the front cover, start that language, that jargon, so that they would know. So when you say open the book, say open the front cover of the book. Are you done? Okay, close the back cover of the book. Hold the book by the spine and put it on the bookshelf. I will also be talking about how to build your own home library as well. That's important. So again, parts of a book are very, 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 very important for your child. You want to teach these skills, prerequisite into learning how to read, and it will be a part of reading lessons for them a little bit of down the line, kindergarten, first grade. So yeah, thank you for listening. Author Michelle with Once Upon a Story Time, as well as all things language and literacy. It's my jam. Thank you for joining. Bye. I'll get that jingle together.